everybody. I hope you're all having a great day. I actually made it on here to make another video, thank goodness. Um, Hope y'all haven't abandoned my channel yet because I know it's a while in between videos when I make them. Uh, just got a lot going on here, and from one day to the next, I don't usually have a lot of time except for when I'm not feeling well and I just take the time anyway. Um, but when we get busy like this, with so many different things hitting us all at once, when we got um, when we're grieving, um, whether it's grief from a couple of months ago or 5 years ago, when things hit, that's a little bit rough, and what we do can make a big difference. I've had a loss lately. Within the last couple of months, I've had health issues come up within the last few months. Sandy's had health issues come up uh, 6 months ago. Um, they're actually being med controlled better. Um, I'm still uh, trying to understand and deal with my daughter, whose death is almost 5 years ago now, and I just have a lot hitting me. In the last 5 years, I've had four deaths, all immediate family members, and it wears on a person after a while. But what we do with it makes a big difference. All these things, and my thing is, I turn to God. I call on God. I keep my faith in God. Excuse me. Um, I do my best not to let anything turn me away from God, because right now is a time when we're vulnerable and the devil can attack us and just take us down so quickly. And um, when you're going through so much all at one time and you're trying to make sure everything is taken care of, and we get everything done that we need to do, um, it can be stressful and it can be frustrating and it can tear us down. But we do have two choices, and one is to call on God, and that is our number one and best choice. And we can call on Him and gather strength from Him and feel comfort from Him and know that He is there and He will get us through it. And when the devil attacks us during these times, um, you know, all we have to do is pray to God, earnestly pray to God, and ask Him, you know, to comfort us, to protect us, to shield us from any wrong, to, you know, help us deal with our grief, because, we don't want any illnesses or any grief or any financial drawbacks, any of our needs, whether it be a little rough getting groceries or whatever the thing is. If we're needing housing, we're going to lose where we're at soon. Any of that stuff, that's the devil trying to package you. And he'll package you in a lot of different places and wear you down here and wear you down there until you're so far wore down you forget to pray to God. And you forget to call on God. You're so wrapped up in all these little packs that the devil's doing to you in all these different areas that it's taking your time away from calling on God and asking Him for help and knowing and having faith in Him that He will help you. He will get you through whatever you're going through. We all have different things hitting us. We all may be dealing with grief, or some of us may be dealing with grief, but are we dealing with grief and medical issues? Are we dealing with grief and financial issues? Are we dealing with grief and housing issues? It's not as easy to just go and rent someplace as it once was. It's not as easy to get medical help. Insurance and that isn't easy to come by these days. So, uh, the devil's packing. He's packing at your door. He's trying to get in. And the one surefire way to keep him out is to go to God. Now, when we look at things and look at the big picture, um, like I look at my daughter's death, she had spent um, most of her life off and on in the hospitals. When she was 2 years old, her first surgery happened. And probably in her first 8 or 10 years of life, there may have been like 6 or 8 major surgeries, possibly even more, and numerous outpatient surgeries where she was home the same day. She went through a lot of pain. Um, she didn't complain. She didn't let it get her down. And in the last few years of her life, where she had went in the hospital, she was in there for I don't even know 2 or 3 months, and then from there to a nursing home and then home. And she had breathing issues. She had a disability, and um, so she had a lot of health issues growing up. And she was born with one baby lung and one half lung. It was kind of not much of a lung. So she never really developed a full set of adult lungs, and she had uh, restrictive respiratory disorder on top of her disability. She had had several what we call freebies along the way, that are just other medical issues that were not caused by her disability. But with this restrictive respiratory uh, uh, disability, she was not. She was on oxygen and had to be on oxygen constantly. She had to use a BiPAP machine because the CPAP wasn't doing its job. Um, when she had went in the hospital and they had to trach her, and then uh, went from there to the nursing home for a while. She had told my sister that she couldn't go through it again. There was no way she could go. She was just tired. She had been through so much medical in her life. She was just tired. And so the last time she got sick and was in the hospital, they were taking her up to the ceiling or up to the roof, um, when they could get her stable enough to uh, get on a helicopter and go to a hospital, um, probably an hour away in a helicopter, maybe less. But on the way up to the roof, her vital stats become unstable again, and they tried to trach her, and it was unsuccessful. Now, that was in June of 2019, so I'm real close to that 5 year mark. Um, Without her, uh, I didn't lose my faith in God. I called on Him even harder because at that time in my life, you know, um, she was everything. I knew something was bound to happen. I kept telling Sandy she's going to go in the hospital and she's not going to come out, not alive. And instead of losing my faith, I prayed to God that Ellen would have faith. That's her name, Ellen May, and that she would have faith, and that um, she would open her eyes to God. And about maybe 6 months or so, maybe not even that long before she passed away, she had mentioned she had been talking to her higher power. She said, and she did mention God. So I know she went to God and turned to God, which was Him answering prayers. So I know that, she said that God, her higher power, she was calling on Him for help. And I don't believe the help she was calling on was to make her get better, but instead was to give her relief of all the medical she has went through because she was so tired of it. Well, God, you know, allowing her to tell me she knew He was there and she was calling on Him helped keep my faith strong because I knew He was answering my prayers, and I knew since she now was calling on God that she was secure in her place in heaven. Uh, my mom passed away a couple months ago. Again, I turned to God. Um, I am fighting some depression. It does hurt, and kind of with my mom, it's bringing up like Ellen passing. The depression, not really depression, the grieving. It, it's just hard sometimes. But with this happening, I call on God. I don't lose my faith. I don't let the devil get in. He knows I'm vulnerable right now. He is trying to come after me, and he will do the same to each and every one of you. And in these times where it's so easy for people to say, "Why did God do this? Why, did God take away somebody I love so much?" But what we got to realize is there is a reason why they were called home. With Ellen, like I said, she died in June of 2019, June 23rd. When she was called home, you know, 6, 7 months later, COVID hit. It would have been so cruel for her to have gotten COVID and tried to survive through COVID with her respiratory disorder. And so I think, that was God's way of saving her going through more pain and more of her life in a hospital on a respirator or, being trached again because she did push the trach out and was able to breathe on her own. So, God knew it was time for her to go because this world was coming into something that would be so horrifying for her to get. With my mom, she read her Bible. She wanted to go. She was, just asking God, please bring me home. Please bring me home. She got to where she couldn't read her Bible anymore, and all she wanted is to be with God. So I know He brought her home, and she is now in heaven with Ellen May, and with God where she wants to be. She got to see her mother again because my grandma is up there. I'm sure. You know, these things are not something to lose sight of God over. Um they're not something that we should turn away from God, because he knows that when he calls somebody home, it's their time and it's for their better. Um, this this world, this United States, it's not looking too good. And my mom, she was in her 80s. She wasn't able to do much of anything anymore. Um, it was her time. It is better for her to be in heaven and not have all the medical and not being able to read her Bible. So that was, to her, that was a hard thing, and this sort of stuff. It's better for her to be up there right with God and be able to bow and praise Him, and be able to see Ellen, you know, and in between there, I've had, my dad has passed away and my brother has passed away, and it's just like all hitting me. Sandy has had her brother pass away, uh, and there's just some of her extended family has passed away. We have family members that have health issues. We ourselves have health issues. We are not turning from God. These things are for a reason, and even if we don't know why now, it'll be revealed to us when we go to heaven. I don't want to spend eternity in hell wondering why all this happened. I want to be safe in the knowledge that God had a reason, and whatever that reason is, it's what needed to be done. And I don't want to lose faith in God and then spend eternity in hell because I turned away from God when I needed to draw on Him the most, when I needed to seek comfort in Him the most, when I needed to trust in Him and know that He did what was best. And, don't, I don't want to let the devil sit and pack at me and pack at me and pack at me until I forget why I love God so much, why I have so much faith and so much trust in God. I don't want to lose sight of how wonderful God is. So no matter how much the devil attacks me, I keep turning to God. And we just need to all remember that no matter what our situations are, no matter how rough they are, and there are plenty way worse than what situations I am, just know God is there and He'll get us through them. Just keep your faith in Him. Don't abandon Him, because He won't abandon you. And as long as you have faith in it and you truly believe that God will take care of you, He'll look after you, then He'll take care of you. He won't abandon you. If you let the devil peck away at you till he pecks so much away that he starts taking you away from God, there's not much God can do if you don't call on Him. Well, I don't know what He can do. But I know if you don't trust in Him, that you won't see any good that He's putting forth for you to see, because the devil will keep you blind of it. And just keep your faith in God. Keep your faith in God. No matter how much grief you're going through, no matter how much financial struggle you're going through, no matter how much you may need new housing or new income or groceries in your cupboard, keep your eye on God. Keep your heart on God. Keep Him in there. Keep praying. Keep praising. Keep thanking for any blessings He gives you. Don't forget to let Him know you appreciate the blessings and to thank Him for them. You know, and whatever you're going through, He'll get you through. He'll take care of you. Anyway, anybody that made it to the end, anybody that enjoyed this video, if you could like it, share it, hit the notification button, you know, and subscribe. I guess you have to subscribe before you hit the notification button, but that's all right. Just, just believe in God. Keep your faith in God. Trust in Him. He'll protect you. He'll comfort you, and He'll take care of you. Y'all have a good day. Goodbye.